What is going on, guys? It's Wraith back with another video. Now in today's video it's going to be a pretty cool one, and it's going to be working more on your game sense and IQ instead of more mechanical skill. But basically what I'm going to be talking about in this video is thinking ahead in fights, or at the very beginning of a fight, which is extremely important because it can give you the advantages you need to actually win a fight, or even make you think, do I really need to take this fight? So we'll going over around 5 tips in this video. Make sure you leave a like on this video, comment which tip you actually find the most helpful, and if you have any other tips for people, make sure you leave it down in the comments below, and I'll make sure to give it a like so then people can see it and actually see your guys' tips as well. But yeah, as always, comment down what you want to see for a future video, and let's get right into this video. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is what's your loadout. Now you kind of got to think about it. Are you actually ready for a fight? What's your health looking? What's your mats looking? And what's your loadout looking like, right? So if you have, say, 63 health, are you really in fighting shape? Like, would you rather wait, see if you can run over some old builds, see if you can find minis, or see if you can find a chest and open it up and find a big shield, minis, medkit, bandos, etc., right? Health is the main factor I'd say look at. Are you actually in a position to fight? Because if you're going in against fighting someone who has 200 health, or you don't know how much health he has, and you only have 60 to 70 health, probably not the best fight. Even at like 110, 130 health, I'm not trying to fight someone unless I see him first and I can beam him for around 130 health, right? You don't want to fight someone who's at 200, 200, or 100, 100 when you're only at like 80 health, 100 health, right? Then let's get into mats. Is your mats good? Do you need mats? So some people like playing more aggressive if they don't have mats. Some people like pushing people and trying to get their mats. But there's also that kind of style of play where if you don't have that much mats, say you only have 100 mats, instead of taking a fight, because obviously you're not going to have many mats to stop him from spraying, or you'll have to box and you only have like 40 walls to replace, or 40 builds to replace, then some people like playing a little bit less aggressive and go matting up and try and like farm a little bit. But obviously this works in different scenarios, because if you're end game and you can't really farm, then you're probably going to have to push someone. If it's early game, then I'd say go farm it up instead of pushing someone for mats. It's all kind of, you gotta decipher and be like, okay, is this actually a worthwhile push to get mats, right? And then the last thing is your loadout. Is your loadout good? Do you need weapons? Again, if we're thinking about it, if you hit someone for, let's say, 110 shield and you only have a green pump, green SMG, common AR, and no mobility, then I'd say probably take that fight, right? If you have a gold pump, gold scar, gold P90, a rift to go, and 6 minis, you probably don't need to take a fight, right? It's kind of whatever. So you kind of got to decipher if you want to actually take that fight, and what's your loadout, because the most important thing is your loadout. If your loadout's good, if your health's good, and if your mat's good, then you got to kind of decide what kind of your play style is going to be. For example, endgame, if you have a really crappy loadout, I wouldn't push someone. I would say wait until you can go over people's builds, or you can pump someone when they're not paying attention and then pick up their weapons, right? Now going to number 2, this is probably the most important out of all these tips, and it's what information do you have on the person you're fighting, right? So let's say, for example, you see 2 people fighting and someone just won the fight. Did you see him get absolutely sprayed? Was it a long fight? Was it a one pump kind of fight where he just tapped him and then he's dead? And you kind of got to decipher how much health he has. Does he have 200 health? Does he have 100 health? Obviously you can't like make a good educated guess, so try and take some warning shots. Hit him for white, always go for the push. Well, not always, but most of the time go for the push. If you hit him for shield, kind of keep that in mind. Be like, okay, I hit him 26 twice, so now he's only at 150 or 140, whatever shield, right? So kind of think about the information you have. Did you see them fighting, and does he have a rocket launcher? Does he have a heavy sniper, a minigun? Even if you're just running across a person, he wasn't in a fight, try and decipher as quickly as possible if you can. Try and get some tags on him, see what his health was at, or try and bring him lower so you know generally what health he's at. Does he try and take a snipe at you right away with a heavy sniper? That means you can wall replace. Does it look like when he's switching his weapons, does he pull out a rocket launcher, for example, right? So you kind of got to try and find as much material as you can on the other person, right? So again, if you got out of fight, was it a huge build fight? Do you think he wasted tons of his mats, or was it just a quick fight? You got to kind of be analyzing every like third-party scenario and seeing, try and get as much information as you can. It's a little bit harder if some guy just starts shooting at you, or you start shooting at a guy and you have 0 information on him. A little bit more risky going in for the fight, but again, like I said, you can kind of pick some details, try and see what his loadout is, and yeah, it's pretty important. I'd say this is probably the most important thing on this list. Now the third one I'm going into, and I kind of talked about this in the first, is this a fight you actually want to take? Now, like, think about it. Do you want to take this fight because you could get like absolutely screwed? Like, if you're in a third party situation where you could get third party easily because there's like 40 people end circle and there's not that much room around you, you know, if you don't kill this person really quickly, you're gonna get third party 100%. Is the storm behind you, right? Is there going to be storm pushing you guys and you have no mobility? Or what's kind of what's going to happen that could actually cause a fight to be longer or worse than you think, right? So if the storm's about to move in in 30 seconds and you guys are both at 100 health and 100 shield, you kind of don't want to take that fight, right? Or like I said in the first example, there's 40 people all around you, there's 3 other boxes right around you. Probably not the best idea to go in and take that fight, because the second you push that person, those 3 other boxes are going to make a window edit and they're going to try and bink you, right? And then you're going to be forced to shield, you're going to be low on health, you're going to be low on builds because you push that person, etc, etc, right? So you got to be thinking every single time you're about to make a fight, is this something I want to push? Is there a good probability of third party? And is the storm going to screw me if I push this right now? Right? So you got to kind of be running that mental idea through your mind through the entire time. Now this next thing I'm going to talk about is kind of more towards arena and more towards actually tournaments in general. And this is to think about what placement you're at right now and how many points you're at. Right? So for example, if you're in the first game of the World Cup qualifiers or finals, or even in arena, if you're going to fight off spawn, be like, okay, is this actually something I need to fight? Because do I need the points? And how close am I to placement points? Right? So if you're at 27th place, probably not the best fight you want to take unless you're sure you can get the kill, right? Because all you have to do is wait for 3 other people to do, and you have an instant 3 points. You die, you just wasted that entire game, and you didn't even get placement points. So unless it's a guaranteed kill, if you're at like 25 to 30th spots, I wouldn't push. Again, if you're at 7th place right now, well, not 7th place, but if there's 7 people left, and you're not forced to push someone, probably don't push someone unless you, again, can guarantee a good hit, you not dying, or you getting the kill. Because if you're that close to placement points, try and be a little bit less aggressive again unless you can get the kill, because you don't want to waste your time going all the way through that game, getting 1 kill and then dying before you can get an extra 3 points, because every point does matter in this end game and in this tournament situation, right? So it's very important to see how many points am I at, or do I need points. Again, if you're at 45 points and you need 50 to qualify to the finals, is this your last game? Because that means you either need placement points or you need kills, right? If you're really, really far behind in points, say you're at 30 points and you need 45 points to qualify, you're probably going to have to W key way more because you need the points. So you got to be thinking about that in tournaments. Do I need the points? And how close am I to placement points? Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is figure out their style of play. Now, this is a little bit hard, but normally in the beginning of a fight, for me at least, and for a lot of pro players and people that understand the game well, is figuring out their style of play instantly. Now you can do this. There's normally only like 4 or 5 different styles of play people have. The first one is spray. So this person, you'll see it right away, is if you start building, all he's going to do is spray his AR, spray his SMG. You build over him, he's going to spray his AR, spray his SMG. If you box up, he's just going to spray until he breaks through your box or try and get you damage, right? So those guys you're going to have to deal with differently from, for example, an overbuilder. Someone who you shoot at, he builds 10 stories up. You try and take height from him, he builds another 10 stories up. You're going to have to play that differently, right? If there's an overbuilder, just keep low ground. Don't waste all your mats just fighting one guy. Keep low ground. Learn how to play from the low ground, and then you can clap him just as easily, right? And again, is there someone who instantly the second you shoot at him is just going to box, and then when you try and retake his wall, he's going to try and dip out and go into another box? Is he a frigid type of player where he's, the second you shoot him, he's just going to run away and cower, right? You got to kind of figure out what kind of style of play that person has, because that is going to change how you kind of play each fight. Like I said, for the spray, you're going to play that differently than someone who just overbuilds, or someone who tries to edit down on you every single time he builds over top of you, right? So try and figure that out right away, because you're going to play every single scenario differently depending on his style of play. Very, very important to be inside the mind of your enemy and be like, okay, what's this guy going to do in this scenario? Has he been spraying a ton before? Is he probably going to spray me down if I build for height, etc, etc. So hopefully this did help you kind of think ahead in fights. Again, if it did, leave a comment down below which one helps you the most, and if you have any other ideas, make sure you leave a comment and I'll read it and let you know if I think it's a good idea. I read every single comment and try and reply to as many as I can. Yeah, so if you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like and hit that subscribe button. I would love it and appreciate it so much. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a good day. Have a good one, everyone. Yeah.